Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to this new episode of Alive Archive, my series dedicated to live performances. And hey, hey, Nick, how is it going? Hope you are fine. So, yeah, today I'm prepared what I think will be my setup for my next concert. That will be on the 23rd of July, so next Friday, not this one, the next one. And yeah, I'm gonna play at Cartier di Vas, a live set, an half hour long live set. And of course, I decided to go with what I do best, of course, and what is my main focus on research music, which is feedback and no input music. So, yeah, today I'm gonna rehearse for that concert and try to define a structure of my improvisation because of course it will be improvised as usual. I'm using only no input mixers and the self-resonating filter and effects, so it will be a feedback based performance. I have also the SADs here in the background. I don't know, we'll see if I will take it with me. Anyway, of course, today I'm gonna rehearse and try a couple of things, and yeah, of course, I'm still figuring out what I want to use in that situation. Cartiera di Vas, it's a place. The city, the small town, actually, it's not a city, it's a small town in the mountains, really a village. Basically, it's called Quero Vas, and Cartiera, it's a paper mill. It's the translation of paper mill. So, yeah. Uh, the place is so beautiful, really. Last time that I was there for the interview with Joan Merritt, it was really amazing, and I fell in love immediately. Actually, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Let me explain you a little bit the setup that I'm going to use today, and of course the one that I will probably use for the performance. There are three no input mixers, so one, two, and three. There is a filter, which I use, of course, in self oscillation, so like an instrument, but at the same time, it's also a filter for one of the mixers here. So there are some type of interactions between what happens here and what happens here. Then I have a sequencer here because I'm introducing in no input mixing also CV signals. I'm trying to experiment a little bit with them to see if I can create some interesting interactions between audio and CV signals. And then, of course, here I have a distortion, here there is an harmonizer reverb, and here I have a lot of effects and other stuff that creates connection between the instrument that I'm using, the sound sources. So, yeah, I think that we can start, and I want to improvise a little bit at the beginning. The drone that you were listening were produced by all the mixers, and yeah, let's see what happens. And of course, I will stop here and there to think about the events that I want to introduce in the performance. So I'm thinking I have like half an hour, 30 minutes. And I want to create a structured improvisation. So, sections with different type of dynamics and balance between silences and sounds, and more musical stuff, more abstract stuff. I'm gonna figure it out while rehearsing. So I hope you will find this operation interesting because, yeah, I think it's nice to see the process behind an improvisation because you cannot improvise improvisation, and you need to prepare to prepare it. So yeah, let's play something and see what happens. Then I'm gonna take some notes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And yeah, of course, if you want to interact with me in the chat, I'm gonna answer and read you as soon as I finish the improvisations, because of course my focus is there and not on the chat as usual. Yeah, exactly. 30 minutes, it's a short time actually, but it uh, allows you also to be very specific and precise because, yeah, you have not that much time and you need to be on point in every moment of it. So, obviously, you need to plan a little bit a structure for your improvisation. At least that's my way of working. So, yeah, let's play something. Okay, okay, well, bots, bots in the chat. Obviously, they want me to become famous, to become famous. Okay, so. Well, now I focused more on more rhythmical stuff and more you know type of electronic rave ish type of stuff, but of course with a very, if that was set, I would be satisfied. Yeah, I think it's a little bit well, not a little bit to something. It's basically, for me, it sounds too repetitive. I want to create more empty spaces and full spaces. It's not really balanced, in my opinion. Um, but of course, there are interesting stuff. For example, yeah, those rhythmic kind of things can create, for example, the closing climax of the performance, probably. Yeah, probably you're right. Of course, as the performer and the artist, it's a different point of view, obviously. But yeah, I really enjoy this ravish type of approach and of sound result. I still need to understand where to put it, but probably in the end of the performance, like something like that with a sort of crescendo of saturation, and probably also with the rhythm that is accelerating during the end of the performance. So yeah, I think that can be the closing part of the improvisation, like the last 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a long time, but it can be. And yeah, but in the beginning, I want to start with something more sparse, more, you know, more empty spaces and more details, something more focused on the quality of the sound more than on the strength of of the wall of sound that I'm producing. Um, so yeah, I need to try to create some less dense, uh, not dense in the sense of dancing, but thick atmosphere and drony kind of stuff. Yeah, the drone was yeah, probably that was the part that that took me on that direction. But of course, I want to try to create more yeah, more of you know vast space with the single elements here and there for the beginning of the performance. So focusing more on the single events more than on the overall composition. Yeah, I can try it, and I can also use a timer to create a section that is like I don't know, 3 4 minutes long, maybe. Yeah. Can be a good idea. Okay, let's try it. 4 minutes and single sound events. Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's try to play the feedback here with the CV. I saw that it gives some interesting variations. Um, Let me check. I'm gonna talk a little bit. Okay. Okay. It seems that the the current of the CV in a certain way interacts with the feedback, but I don't know how much. Yeah, as you can hear, it works. This show will be probably streamed. I'm gonna try to stream it, but I'm not really sure. Well, I'm not really sure because, of course, I need to. Well, before my live set, I'm gonna do three live streams, and three interviews with the first one with Gal Gal, who is a Polish electronic musician. He's now in Venice for a art residency, and he's going to perform also in Vas for this event, for this dall'Alba agli Astri. And then I'm gonna interview Tommaso Mantelli from Leicester Studio, which is a recording studio here in the area, in this area. And yeah, he created this project called the Leicester Sessions. I think that they released their first output today. I will probably link it. I should do it. They created this kind of format called Leicester Session. Leicester is the name of the studio, uh, where they they record a session with different musicians that never met before, uh, mostly experimental musicians. And yeah, I'm gonna interview Tommaso Mantelli, who is the head of this project and also of the studio. Super interesting, at least for me, to to enter into someone else's process about improvisation and this type of interaction between experimental musicians in an improvisation situation. And then I'm gonna interview John Merrich about one specific topic, which is the library music of the 60s and of the 70s. It's there is an interesting chapter in her book, in her a short history of electronic music and its woman protagonists, about library music. So the music that was composed for TV shows and cinema, um, and then used in different situations. So, of course, these composers created the music not based on the movie itself or the show, etc., etc., etc. They created it like following, the sad composition or happy composition or, you know, uh, thrill composition, etc., etc. And then, of course, there is this sort of library where producer of movies and directors and can take this composition to put them in their shows. So it's another interesting topic. That conversation is going to be in Italian, but the other two, the one with Gal Gal and the one with Tommaso Mantelli, are going to be in English. But then, yeah, I have to do these three interviews, three chat and conversations, and then I'm gonna perform. So I need to understand if I can prepare everything for the interviews and prepare all my setup before starting the interviews, and then moving the computer and the audio interface and everything in the place of the performance. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stream it, but I'm not really sure to be able to do it because, of course, not that much time to do it that day. Um, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're right, Nick. Um, totally agree. Order of importance is performance, recording, and streaming. Recording, I will record it for sure from here. And then, of course, I will try to stream it. But we'll see, we'll see. Anyway, now I need to create this moment of emptiness and small events. 4 minutes. Let's go with it. Okay, that was probably a little bit too long, but I think it was what I was looking for actually. There were a couple of interesting ideas, and the different type of elements were nice. Um, there were some sort of structure, but at the same time there is also this, you know, kind of floating um, fishes in the deep of the sea. Um, yeah, that was probably it's a good idea to start with something like that um, for the session, because of course in this way I can build up a sort of tension during the wall performances with the wall performance. Um, yeah, that was on point. I need to totally to start from something like that. Uh, so you know, creating three different type of sounds in the mixers and be able to to move between them in a very abstract, but also at the same time very visceral way. Okay, 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 okay. So we can start with something like that, like 4 or 5 minutes, and because the idea is to avoid a huge um, sausage of sound and a huge sausage also of tension of I want to create a more of a of a roller coaster of emotional flow during the performance. So yeah, starting from this point, I can create some sort of crescendo for like 4 or 5 minutes, starting very slow with this single elements, a single sound event, and then building it like more of a rhythmical situation with the elements that are alternating each other, um, and then I can you know probably take everything out from the mix and start build something else. I can create also an empty space, a really empty space with just one frequency that can take the listener from the first part to the second one. Okay, so like 5 minutes of this type of approach, and then one single element that can be the starting point of the next section. Okay, this is nice. Obviously, I won't find the same exact sounds for the performance, but that's also the way that I like to work, and that's also one of the reasons why I love input mixing techniques, because of course you need to think not just to the sound. You need to focus not on the sound and nothing else, or the structure, but you need to focus on the approach, and you need to be versatile and be able to react to what happens in the sound sources. Obviously, for the beginning of the performance, it will be easier because I can prepare the three sounds um, before starting playing. Uh, so yeah, the beginning is probably the easiest part, and also the end can be easy because, of course, if I want to create some rhythmical elements, I'm using the self-oscillating filter here, and I'm sequencing it with the sequencer here, so I can create a pattern, a rhythmical pattern, very simple, because of course this one, yeah, it produces notes, and it filters also this one. But of course, I can create the same rhythmical pattern and have it stored here. So I can, I have the idea and preparation for the beginning and for the end of the performance. But what happens in the middle, it's up to, what happens in the mixers and how I am able to improvise with them and use them to create this sort of, flow, of sound flow. So yeah, let's move on and let's try to create a middle section, or yeah, let's try to create the middle section so I can do like 5 minutes of this sparse sounds and single events. Then I can do like 6 7 minutes of something else. I don't know what. Let's improvise a little bit. And then I can end with like 10 15 minutes of crescendo of this, rhythmical crescendo. Let's try to build a performance like that. I'm gonna watch the watch here to understand the times. And yeah, let's go. Half an hour. I will try to be more precise as possible. As precise as possible. And yeah, let's try it. Okay, well, completely out of the center. So yeah, I think that was yeah, that was like exactly 30 minutes, uh, more or less. Um, yeah, there were a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of interesting stuff happened. So my initial plan changed during the performance, obviously, because I'm still rehearsing, and of course, I want to, to explore the more I can now that I'm not performing on stage. I'm performing in front of you, but of course, this is sort of rehearsal, as I stated in the beginning of the live stream. But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happened, and my idea of dividing the performance in three parts changed, and it became something more in four parts, with the initial and the starting moment of emptiness and sparse sounds. Then it started to grow up and to become more rhythmical, and then I created this crescendo with this four on the floor. It was not really a four on the floor, but sort of. Um, and then I ended with this drone part. So yeah, I was reading also Nick message. This party is really nice. All was, but I know drone. The answer is drone. So yeah, um, that was a good improvisation. A lot of interesting moments, and I think I can, take this structure and use it also for the live performance on the 23rd of July. Yeah, so four parts, uh, beginning, building up, rhythmical stuff, drone, and smooth fade out. I think it's a good balance because of course you have like a sort of soft introduction to the also the world of no input music and of this type of sounds and improvisation. You have some sort of intro, and then you have something that becomes a little bit more familiar with some rhythmical structures, and then of course you have the final drone that washes everything and washes your ears and your soul. So I think it's a good it has a good movement with this type of structure. Okay, well, that was really nice, and yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with it. uh, I won't take with me any acoustic instrument. I started with this idea, but I feel that I have enough here to work with, and I have enough space to create a lot of movement, even if I'm just using no input mixers. So yeah, that was it for this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very useful for me, since of course, as I usually say, I'm live streaming 3 days per week and preparing everything. But also I have a job. It's a full time one. So of course this is one of my main moments for rehearsals and for playing, because I don't have so much time. So yeah, I'm super happy that I'm able also to share with you this moment of playing. It's not just of course rehearsing, and again, I'm focusing a lot of my contents on the process, on trying to share with you different ways of doing stuff, and that can be inspiring or useful or informative. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Um, so yeah, let's close this live stream with a couple of announcements. The first one is that on Friday, I am super honored and super pleased to have Francesca Naibo, who is a musician, obviously, a guitarist and improviser. She released Numa Tole for Out Records. We listened to a couple of songs in one of the Under the Label episodes. Um, she's a classical trained guitarist, but of course with an improvisation and electroacoustic approach. And she's gonna also take with her the guitar and her board. So she will also show us her setup and how it works and how she plays it. So super interesting. We will talk, of course, about improvisation techniques and also the improvisation scene here in Italy, and how she, you know, how she works in this field nowadays. So yeah, see you on Friday with contemporary music talks and also plays this time with Francesca Naibo. And then, of course, next week there are going to be 3 live streams as usual under the label a live archive and contemporary music talks from live from Cartiera di Vas during the Dal Tramonto alle Stelle Festival. And yeah, I think I said everything. Of course, don't forget to follow the channel if you want to be updated, or follow Instagram, Facebook, social stuff for being updated, and you know so you don't miss any live stream. Thanks everyone. I hope to see you on Friday. Have a nice time. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.